There are 6 words. 6 words that change everything. Not a trick, not a script, not a performance. 6 words. And when you finally understand them, really understand them, you will never need to chase anyone again. Stay with me. If this kind of content speaks to you, if you want more truth, more depth, more of this, subscribe now. Hit that button and keep watching. Because what I'm about to say will shift something inside you that has been waiting for a very long time to move. You have been taught the wrong things. Since you were small, someone told you to smile more, be softer, be more agreeable. Don't take up too much space. Don't be too much. And so you learn to shrink. You learn to make yourself smaller so that other people could feel bigger. You learn to wait, to hope, to adjust, to tolerate. You bent yourself into the shape that you thought someone else needed you to be, and still, they left, or they stayed and made you feel like you were alone anyway. This is where most women live, in the quiet sadness of a life designed around other people's comfort, not yours, theirs. But here is what nobody told you. Attraction is not a performance. It is not your hair, not your body, not your smile, not the way you say yes when you mean no. Attraction, real, lasting, magnetic attraction, is not something you do. It is something you are. And who you are is decided by one thing only: how you feel about yourself when no one is watching. There are women in this world who walk into a room and something shifts. Not because they are the most beautiful, not because they are the loudest, not because they have said anything yet. Something shifts because of the way they carry themselves, like they belong, like they have already decided they are enough, like they are not waiting for anyone's approval to begin. That energy, that settled, quiet, unshakable energy is what draws people in. Not desperation, not performance, not trying. Presence. Pure, grounded, unhurried presence. And now, the 6 words. Are you ready? Here they are. I am enough as I am. 6 words. Simple. Ancient. Devastating in their truth. I am enough as I am. Say them slowly. Feel how uncomfortable they are. Feel how your mind immediately argues back. But you don't have a stable job yet. But you haven't lost the weight yet. But you haven't figured your life out yet. But you haven't healed yet. Notice that. Notice how quickly the mind rushes to disqualify you from your own enoughness. That rush, that automatic rejection of your own worth, that is the wound. That is what we are here to heal. Subscribe if this is reaching you, because the next few minutes are going to go even deeper, and I don't want you to miss it. Let's talk about identity, because this is where everything begins. Not with what you wear, not with what you say, not with how you act around the person you're drawn to. It begins with who you believe you are when you are completely alone. Identity is not a label. It is not your job title. It is not your relationship status. It is not the version of yourself you present to the world. Identity is the quiet voice inside you that either says, I deserve this, or says, I'm not sure I do. Most people have never examined that voice. They have simply lived inside it, believed it without question, let it make every decision. And so they chase, they tolerate, they accept less because somewhere deep down they believe they are less. But you, reading this, watching this, you are here because something in you knows that is not true. Something in you knows there is a different way to live. A way where you do not perform. A way where you do not shrink. A way where you do not beg for the love that should have always been yours. Self-respect is not arrogance. Let me say that again. That self-respect is not arrogance. It is not coldness. It is not indifference. It is not pretending you do not care when you do. Self-respect is the quiet understanding that your needs matter, that your time matters, that your energy matters, that how someone makes you feel matters. Self-respect is the ability to say, without guilt, without apology, without a long explanation, this does not work for me. It is the ability to walk away from something that diminishes you, even when you still want it, even when it is hard, even when you are afraid of the silence on the other side. That is strength, not the performance of strength, real strength, the kind that is built in the quiet moments when no one is watching and you choose yourself anyway. Here is an uncomfortable truth. Most people are not attracted to the version of you that is trying to attract them. Read that again. Most people are not attracted to the version of you that is trying. The trying is visible. The desperation has a scent. The performance has a frequency. And people feel it even when they cannot name it. They feel the difference between someone who is comfortable in themselves and someone who is working to be liked. And almost always, the one who is comfortable draws more attention, not because they are doing anything specific, but because they are not doing anything specific. They are simply being. And being is magnetic. Doing is exhausting. Trying is repellent. Performing is transparent. Being is irresistible. So how do you get there? How do you move from trying to being? You begin by deciding, not by changing everything, not by overhauling your wardrobe, not by reading every self-help book. You begin by making a single decision every single day. The decision to return to yourself. When you notice you are shrinking, return to yourself. When you notice you are bending, return to yourself. When you notice you are waiting for permission to feel worthy, return to yourself. Every time, without judgment, without drama, just a quiet return, like coming home. Let's talk about masculine energy, not masculinity as a gender, but as a principle, because masculine energy exists in all of us, women included, and it is one of the most powerful forces available to you. Masculine energy is direction. It is clarity. It is the ability to hold still in the middle of chaos. It is not reactive. It does not crumble under pressure. It does not need reassurance every hour to know it is on the right path. When a woman embodies that energy, when she is grounded in her purpose, when she knows what she stands for, when she does not need anyone else to validate her direction, something extraordinary happens. People are drawn to her, not because she is chasing them, not because she is impressing them, not because she is available to them in all the ways she used to make herself available. They are drawn to her because she is rooted, and rooted things are rare. In a world of noise, a woman who is quiet in herself is the loudest thing in the room. Purpose is the final piece, and it is the one most people overlook. Because when you are living with purpose, when you have something you are building, something you believe in, something that matters to you beyond any single relationship, you stop centering your life around whether someone chooses you. And that shift from waiting to be chosen to being so absorbed in your own becoming that being chosen becomes secondary. That shift is everything. It changes the way you walk. It changes the way you speak. It changes the kind of people who appear in your life, because purpose is a filter. When you have it, the wrong people no longer fit. They fall away, not with conflict, not with drama. They simply no longer belong in the world you are creating. And the right people, the ones who match your energy, who respect your direction, who do not need you to shrink to make them comfortable, those people arrive, not because you chased them, because you became someone worth arriving for. Let me bring you back to those 6 words. I am enough as I am. Not when I lose the weight, not when I fix my past, not when I earn more money, not when I find someone to love me. Now, as I am, right now, in this imperfect, still healing, still figuring it out moment, I am enough. And that belief, if you can hold it, not perfectly, not all the time, but consistently, as a practice, will change what you attract, will change who stays, will change who goes, will change what you tolerate, will change what you require. It will change you. And when you change, the world around you has no choice but to change with you. You do not need to be louder. You need to be clearer. You do not need to try harder. You need to try differently. You do not need to be more. You need to be fully what you already are. That is the work, quiet work, unglamorous work, daily work, the work of choosing yourself when everything in you wants to collapse into someone else, the work of holding your own hand when you are afraid, the work of believing your own worth even when the evidence around you seems to say otherwise. That work is sacred, and it is worth everything. If this reached you today, if something in here cracked something open, subscribe, because this is just the beginning. There is so much more to explore, so much more to say, so much truth still waiting to be spoken out loud so you can hear it. And finally, believe it, subscribe, stay close, and remember, 6 words, I am enough as I am. Say them until they are real. Say them until they replace the doubt. Say them until the right people can feel them on you from across the room. Because you are not here to chase anyone. You are here to become so deeply yourself that the ones who were always meant for you have no choice but to find their way to you. That is your power. It always has been.